is autism? Now, how does it typically show in a child? A lot of times we have a very classic understanding of what is autism, which is to say children who are very locked up in their own worlds, children who do not have any eye contact, who may not respond when you kind of call them or speak to them. That's a very classic description of autism. Increasingly, there are kids who can actually speak, who can vocalize, who may be able to actually say something like numbers 1 to 100 or backwards 100 to 1 even. They can recite rhymes, they can sing songs, not just hum, they can even say the words. But when this child is hungry or wants something, he may not be able to use language. So knowing to speak and actually using that for communication when he needs something are two entirely different things. And this is where you will see a lot of children falling in the autism spectrum. So there may be kids who never speak, who are unable to talk at all. And on the other hand, there may be kids who are using a lot of language, but not for communication. So the same child who can say so many things, when he actually wants something, we're sort of pulling somebody's hand and leading them towards what he wants, or crying, or doing any one of those things, which non-verbal things, which might get involved in this. So autism can present in any one of these ways. So, and one of the prime indicators of autism in a young child, 1.5 to 2, of course, is language development delays. Secondly is joy and attention, or what we call chronic time. It's a very critical skill. If you see a lot of in South India, we see this, light a paru, anga paru fan. We all do that as a matter of course. Grandmothers do that, mothers do that, pointing. Look at the moon, look here, look there. The child will look in the direction in which you can respond. If you look at a child with autism, that is a skill that is very often missing. They will not look in the direction that you are pointing, and neither will they point to something which they want to share with you, which typically children would. If they see a balloon and even if they cannot talk, they would excitedly show like that, trying to direct your attention to see, hey, see, I'm seeing something that is interesting. You also share that interest with me, and I'm finding that very exciting. So this is a skill which is typically missing in a lot of people. The ability to share interest with another individual, and it's one of the key indicators which I may have. And of course, the second thing is peer play, no social interaction. They will be doing stuff on their own most of the time. You put them in a room with 50 other kids. They may not be disruptive, but they will be happy doing their own thing, not caring what 49 other kids are doing. So a lot of times they are unable to, they may not be a nuisance, but they may just be there. And so it's often, Chamatte, is such a good boy, it's one of the things that parents think, but it's not such a great idea to again have a child who is not mingling in any way with somebody. Someone who is very quiet and can spend hours doing a particular thing may need looking at. May not necessarily be a Chamatte as we see it. So none of them by themselves are red flags, but it's a combination of things that should make you look at a child again to see if he can. A lot of them actually find music very calming, and could be again different genres of music. The popular music, of course, all kids seem to be, like all other children, they seem to be able to relate to, which is, like the latest movie songs or things which have a beat, like the Skutu Party kind of thing, where there is a rhythm which is very definitive and a loud rhythm. So a lot of those things people are able to relate to, but we've also found that a lot of children who are very excited, who are in a frenzied state at a particular point, who are very restless at a particular point, are able to actually come down and listen to music. So we have kids who, when they're actually working on their own, doing something where they don't need to be interacting with somebody else, like to wear headphones and listen to a song of their choice, and they're able to work well. They're not restless anymore, they're able to focus on their work. So it seems to have that kind of quality. Music wise, what we have found, the difference that we have found since Abhinaya has been coming and doing these sessions is, initially we had a lot of back and forth thing about what should the expectations be from them. Because if you look at most therapy, most classes, you immediately try to start getting them to do something. Then it becomes a task again. Okay, you have an expectation from me. Then it becomes a task for them again, which they start resisting. Whereas you want this to be something that they should internalize and enjoy. And learn to enjoy. Learning, because not all of us can sing. Most of us only know how to appreciate music. If somebody is singing well, we know to recognize that that person is singing it well. So our knowledge is limited to that much. And if you can appreciate somebody else's work, it's just sit and listen to somebody for 20 minutes. Then I think that's a skill learned in life. So we consciously decided that we will have no expectations from the children. Our first focus is for them to be able to actually just sit appropriately for half an hour without disrupting the session in a big way. Minor disruptions are acceptable in the sense of small talking here or there, or getting up and going to the toilet or drinking water. But we had a little, that was our expectation, and initially we actually allowed them to be playing with their toys and just sitting there. As long as you can sit, not disturb the person who's singing, that's it. Then over a period we found that they were able to actually sit without any of those toys and things in their hand, which are distractors essentially. So which means the session itself was becoming interesting enough for them, and that they did not need these additional reinforcements in order to be there. It's like going to a movie, popcorn. If you enjoy the movie and then you realize you haven't even eaten popcorn, that movie has been a really good movie. So we found that they were actually not wanting those toys, and then bit by bit we started, sometimes she would occasionally pop up with a question, would you like to sing with me? And if somebody wanted to join up in a particular song or completing a line, they would. But a lot of times if there was no response, we would just carry on. And then, of course, Talam. Mola Mola. Again, we didn't insist that you do. Some of us who were sitting there would be just putting the Talam with her. And anyway, she was also doing it in an exaggerated fashion. So kids would be aware of the rhythm keeping that she was doing. And very occasionally, casually, we would take the kids' hand and get them to do for a 20-30 seconds. And then let go. So now we find that there are some children who are actually able to keep rhythm well with her. And even if they're imitating her rhythm, at least they're imitating her rhythm well. And it's not just, just clapping hands whenever they feel like that. and joining up in songs, making some choice of songs. These are slowly ways in which we are kind of bringing them, getting them more involved. So it's also the fact that they know almost all of those songs by memory and are able to kind of recall and recollect. And I think those are like big skills. Ultimately, they have learned to sit, and at least now they can go to a concert. We've been able to take them out to concerts, and they've been able to sit in a public place and listen to a concert for at least an hour, which I think is a great skill considering these are kids who are unable to do a lot of those things. So those have been the outcomes of the music sessions that we have.